This is Death Stranding. We're here on Xbox Series S. Be sure to like the video. Subscribing is great as well. It's a big surprise, but Death Stranding has arrived. Run from it, hide from it, the weird black ooze whales from beyond will find you and will try to pull you under. Yeah, that's great. Thanks for the info, dead man, but I think I'm good. So, yeah, I guess Kojima was able to buy his IP from PlayStation. PlayStation still has some level of publishing rights, I guess. So, kind of amazing. Kind of a big surprise. We saw this arrive on the PC for the Xbox kind of like achievement system and everything like that. And I kind of assumed that was as far as things were gonna go. So, genuinely a bit of a surprise. And cool nonetheless, because we finally get to experience the magic of Death Stranding here on Xbox, and here with Xbox Series S, which is obviously the smaller console, so the quality of the experience is typically a lot more varied, I would say, gameplay-wise, in terms of quality and fidelity. But what we have here is actually a pretty impressive version of the game to play and to enjoy on your Series S, which is fantastic. I have played through this on the PlayStation back in the day, so I can review it and talk about it and let you know what this is like. But we'll be kind of showing off the technical details about like what this has to offer for Series S, and just kind of the game in general. And this is the definitive edition, so it is the full scope of the game. You get all of the content, all the DLC, everything they released. It's the full version of the game, and it is actually pretty well optimized for Series S. I think you kind of visually can see that this looks pretty great. Two different visual modes and cinematic options. We're going to go ahead and start skipping a whole bunch of cinematics because this game is very narrative heavy, incredibly narrative heavy. And it is a game where you are an individual that delivers cargo, delivers information, and your goal is to bridge America together by delivering packages, because you are a postal worker, essentially. But there's so much more action and there's so much more emotion to it than you could ever anticipate or ever expect. And don't worry, this will keep things spoiler free for you if you're into this or whatever. And like, sadly, there's like intense music in this game in terms of audio. Maybe this won't keep it spoiler free, I don't know, it depends on how you think about this. But yeah, anyways. You're on an emotional journey, you're trying to build America by delivering packages. You do that here on the Series S, where you've got two different visual modes. This is quality, so it's like 1440p at 60 FPS, which is a massive surprise. There's also plan my route. Yeah, no, just leave me alone, because I'm living my life. Okay, that's great. I'm wanting to switch the visual option. If you would leave me alone, video game. And yeah, you can go down to graphics and you can switch prioritize performance. So this is where you get a bit softer of an image. And it's still, you know, it's still pretty good resolution wise, but it's more like 1080p. But 60 FPS, and it just kind of makes sure you're getting that performance level in case things, when they get a bit hectic, are a bit too much for the Series S to handle. I personally think you should go with the quality mode, but that is entirely up to you and how you want to play the game technically. So we're going to go back here, and we're going to switch to quality mode, but we're also going to show off the fact that there is also a widescreen mode option. So this is where you get a little bit more of the picture, and you get a wider formatting for the game in terms of visuals. So yeah, it's really kind of how you want to experience the game. I like to, when I play video games, experience them in a full screen format, but aesthetically you may want to go for widescreen and get a little bit more of the picture in terms of the wide element, and that is entirely up to you, but I just wanted to show it off so that you get an idea of what that looks like. There's lots of game settings, difficulty, and shared content, everything like that, which is kind of essential. And make sure you're saving often. I did experience some crashes, at least on the Series X side of things. But yeah, this is a very interesting game. So Death Stranding isn't necessarily a game I loved. If you're into Kojima experiences and games, I think you will be really into this. It's weird, it's messed up, it's trippy, it's crazy, it's filled with intense surprises. There's crazy flashbacks or flash forwards or emotional turmoil, and you're going on a journey of pain and sorrows and death and twists and turns the entire way through. And it's a game where life, death, and rebirth and everything are between. You live in the regular world, but you're in a world between worlds, and it's kind of a crazy experience the whole way through. Like, this game is just nuts. Now, I'm not necessarily huge into this game. I kind of said that I would find it more fulfilling to actually get a job doing, like, travel as a, you know, actually delivering packages. Are we not allowed to use the vehicles? I don't think we're allowed to use the vehicles. Because, yeah, you're kind of a guy that just sort of stumbles around walking forever. It is the ultimate walking simulator, and you deliver packages. But what's really cool is that when you get to the more open area, and you connect to everyone out there in the the world and players of the world come together to build things, such as roads or traveling paths. When I reviewed this game, kind of ahead of launch, around launch, that stuff didn't exist. So I walked like this. Endlessly walked across grassy terrain, snow terrain. This is the game. You are walking. Sometimes you get to drive vehicles, occasionally, not often. And sometimes the terrain is more annoying than other points, because the terrain is the puzzle of the game. You have to solve the puzzle of how to move through the environment in order to survive, in order to deal with threats, in order to deal with problems. And sometimes there's giant, black, oozing whales that come from the ground. And you gotta make sure your packages are not damaged, because you get more benefits if your packages are not damaged. And the rain is time, and the rain time goes by, and your packages can get destroyed. And it is a pain. And you will be sitting there awkwardly trying to recollect your packages if you fall, stumble, or anything like that. And as I said, it is a game where you are walking and climbing and sometimes exploring and trying to make it across this world that is filled with sadness, sorrow, depression, chaos, and a never-ending pain. For your guy to walk. It does have cutting-edge visuals. It actually does look really impressive on the Series S. Seriously, kind of punching above its weight class here. And the cinematics are incredible. The narrative is intriguing for those that are into it. I felt it was a little self-indulgent. And it just kept, you know, repeating Kojima's name everywhere every 2 seconds. But no, it's an interesting game. It is fascinating if you're into this style of gameplay. And it is long. Like, it is well over 30 hours. You could be rushing your hottest through this, and it's going to take you over 30 hours. I think it'll be a little easier for people now that everything's, like, settled in terms of, like, buildings and stuff like that. You know, people making things. But, like, Yeah, it is a lengthy game. But there's crazy amounts of cinematics, and you get to see multiple credits roll, and there's weird twists and turns, and it's bonkers. And you might be sitting there being like, what does it all mean? And how does everything work out? And, that is a thing that draws a lot of people to this game. Like, your bridges, and you're trying to bridge together America, a place that's fallen. Flying is done, traveling is gone, death lurks everywhere. Every corner there could be chaos and problems. There's these connections between the worlds. Sometimes you have a baby that's crying and you have to cradle it. Well, a lot of the time the baby's crying. And yeah, it's got all of Kojima's friends in it, so there's lots of familiar faces. And you are just on this long, tedious, never-ending, winding journey to save America, I guess. I've played through it, and it's like, there's a lot to the game, that's for sure. Hey, look, a bridge, which is something that would be convenient for you, and this is just kind of like teaching you about things, and you light stuff, and you support other people to put helpful things down, and that's great. And that's how you get your achievements. But yeah, this was, again, for me, this was a really dramatically long experience. I wouldn't even say I'm necessarily glad that I experienced it either, because I really just wasn't into this game. And that's okay. Because I know that some people really, really like this game and what it has to offer. And some people like me just kind of struggled with it and just sort of walked and found it really mundane and boring. But that's why different games exist for different peoples. See, I'm really trying to give a balanced approach and thoughts to this game, to the best of my ability. Because, yeah. And I know there's another Death Stranding coming too, which is hilarious because the sequel's coming.
Too close.
Maybe someday on Xbox as well, which is neat. Because like I said, this came out of nowhere. Complete stealth drop, complete surprise. And we're just kind of enjoying this experience and figuring the puzzle of what's easy to walk along, what's harder to walk along. And to a degree, that is impressive, right? The fact that you are exploring and it's a seamless world where everything is rather fascinating. And the challenges are interesting, and you're walking and walking and walking and sometimes driving. And there's sometimes cinematic points and challenging points and a little bit of combat here or there, but yeah, it's kind of a neat game, and you can do side activities and other challenges, and you really can kind of approach it how you want. And your level of quality and how you deliver goods is a big part of how well you do and sort of the rewards, and then with this being the definitive edition is a lot easier going in terms of challenges and gameplay. So yeah, it's not it's kind of hard for me to really super recommend this, but I do get that for some people this game just really delivers. And I think those, as I said, Kojima fans that like these types of games, you're really into the Metal Gear sort of thing. This is a game that you can get a lot of value out of. It's long, it's in depth, it's very narrative driven, it's filled to the brim with a vast sense of scale and distance, and just the craziness of seeing things float, and the story bits and the emotions of the characters. There's a lot that you can appreciate and like about this game, and this beginning area is just the start of it, because it really does build up and allow you to explore some majestic landscapes across different places with different challenges. The main area is just so massive, and you just kind of walk along and get to places. Again, we've been walking this whole video. It's what you do. You walk, you get a long cutscene. You walk, you get another cutscene. Agile's there, she's beautiful. Léa Seydoux, she's great. And you know, this is either going to be a game that you're really into, or a game that you're not into. That's really the gist of it. But I will say on Series S, this is a very impressive game. Like, they're actually really pushing the Series S in impressive ways. This is one of the better looking Series S games I've played. So bravo to the effort there. I will say them coming to Xbox with this game, I wasn't sure what to expect because I didn't anticipate that it was coming. And it just kind of popped out of nowhere. And then we're here and we're like, oh, wow, okay, let's see how this runs on Series S. And I'm going, impressive? That's the biggest thing, you know? I give props where props are due when it comes to various games and what those experiences have to offer.
Start good shit. Maybe you are defective.
And that's what I kind of find kind of fascinating is seeing this game and being like, they got some neat stuff going on. Like, this is a good level of fidelity for Series S. Especially on quality mode. It seems to be just, for the most part, it's just smooth. It's running well. I mean, the game doesn't really have a whole lot to it because it's sort of just... like, it's technically pushing, but it is a very just open kind of game where you're just running along terrain, but occasionally you get moments like this where crazy stuff's going on. And I know it looks trippy and crazy, but trust me, a lot of the game is just walking. And then when you, like, stuff falls from the ground, and your packages get all wrecked, and it's just kind of like, oh man, it gets exhausting to play this game. And it just goes on for like 30 hours and stuff like that. And you're like, ugh.
Just get the hell out of there.
Uh-oh. Oh, no. Oh, no. Get off of me. Oh, come on. At least the whales haven't come yet. At least the whales haven't come yet. And then the baby's crying. Ugh, you gotta be kidding me. Oh, and this thing's here. Oh, you gotta be. Oh, no. Yeah. I don't know if it'll let me escape this time. We'll see. I think I'm gonna run out of stamina. Yeah, I don't think that one likes me. Okay, no, we're making it. Okay. So yeah, as I was saying, like, this looks really, really cool, but man, does it get annoying when you're just trying to deliver your package across the countryside after hours and hours of walking, and you just keep getting slapped down, and giant whales are attacking you, and everything's going wrong, the rain's making you go down. Léa Seydoux is this weird old body, even though she looks young, and she's not fragile. And then you've got, like, the director guy from all those movies here, and there's just a lot to it. So your baby's crying, so you gotta, like, cradle the baby, and you're just like, what is going on? Like, I know what's happened, because, like, you know, again, I've played through this, and I've done the in-depth, like, read-ups, and I fully have an idea of this, and it's like, I get it's like a survival game, and I will say for Vision, there's not many games quite like this out there. Like, bravo for Kojima to actually come in and, you know, realize this sort of game. And for the people that are really into it, as I said, you're probably going to have a pretty good time, and you're going to love what this has to offer and find that there's so much to do. But I do really want people to just kind of know fully the type of game this is, just so that your expectations are, you know, kind of kept in check. You know what you're getting into. You know what this game has to offer gameplay-wise for you. But on Series S, if you are jumping into this adventure, it's actually really genuinely impressive. I am blown away by this. This is one of the better looking / performing Series S games out there. And once again, just a bit of a bravo there for Kojima in delivering this game as it is. It's a really neat surprise, and I am curious how things are going to turn out when we see Death Stranding 2 down the road, as I'm sure I'll be reviewing that one on the PlayStation 5. Ugh.